Okay, this is Weather Outlook. This is my preliminary winter forecast for 25 and 26. It's for Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. We could tweak this as we get closer. I've heard comments from other forecasters like it's ridiculous to pick this out in September, but you know, I'm not them. You know me, if you follow me really well, you know I try to do things early and try to get it out there early, and then if there's any twink, I twink it. But right now, I'm pretty positive about some of these things. Again, I use all kinds of analogs and things like that, and then I look for the things that kind of match what I think, and that's what I show you. So I'm gonna first go into what I think is gonna happen. Okay, just for reference, this is what a La Nina looks like, and this is an El Nino, okay? This is a warmer pattern and usually means less snow, but this is what we're going to get at least for part of the beginning of the winter and the end of the winter, and we're going to go to a neutral at some point where it'll actually warm up a little bit. But this is for the most part. You can see this is the express of the cold air coming down in the central United States and then going over PA and then up the coast. So that leaves the boundary between with a moisture. Here's your moisture coming in here. It goes right along this boundary, and that's where I think you get your possibilities for a nor'easter. Now, the snow totals I'm going to give you include some snows, but a nor'easter, if you know in Pennsylvania, it wipes out all predictions. And I think that this year we have a better chance for a nor'easter just because there's going to be a block up here and it'll make things go slower down here. So I just wanted to point that out to you before we start. We're going to do each state separately. If you're watching, we're going to do Pennsylvania first, we'll do New Jersey second, and Delaware third, and try to cover everybody. Now, this is what the average winter temperatures I think will be down towards Philadelphia and the suburbs. Your temperatures will be close to normal. If you go west from there towards Reading and Allentown, I think your average will be about a degree below normal. And as you go further to the west, which would include the Poconos, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Central PA, Pittsburgh, all the way up almost to Erie, you're about -2 below normal. And then right along the lakes, because of the warmth of the lakes, you're about 1 degree below normal up that way. So that's how I figured the temperatures for this winter to average out when we go through the whole winter. That's what it'll level off as. Now, this is your snow totals, okay? I can't give every town to everybody, but I can give you a pretty good idea. There's your county maps. Look for your county maps, and you can pretty much guess where you're at. By Erie up here, about 95. Just off of Erie, maybe 115 inches. Central Warren County up this way, about 85 inches. Bradford, 75, and as you go east, it cuts down a little bit. This swath through here, going out north south of Erie there about 55 inches. Pittsburgh, about 36. This is the Laurel Highlands. They always get more just because of the way the mountains interact with the lake effect. So they're back up to around 110 inches. Then as we go out to State College, 44. We go up to Williamsport, 36. Up here towards Tunkhannock and Towanda, 36. Up here towards Montrose, 60. Upper parts of Wayne County, 55. The southern parts of Wayne County and Pike County, 46, Scranton 42, Wilkes-Barre 36, Stroudsburg 38. This is East Erie, Allentown, Easton Erie 36, Reading 34. As you can see, Philadelphia got you at 30 just because I think there's going to be more coastal snows. Lancaster 32, York 33, and again Harrisburg at 34. Total snow for that. And again, hear that jagged line right here, this little jagged line here. What I'm saying is, this is like my disclaimer. If we get nor'easters this winter, it blows these numbers out of the water. And this is usually the area that storms off the coast tend to bring snow in and pile it up. So this is the area that we need to watch. Anything east of that needs to watch for possible coastal snowstorms, which would make these numbers pumped up higher, and we would go from there. Okay, now we're going to move on to New Jersey. Okay, as we did in Pennsylvania, in Jersey, the northwestern part of New Jersey, especially, be about -1, -2 degrees below normal. The areas from northern eastern New Jersey through Newark on down towards Trenton, um, pretty close, not quite to the coastal line here. but down as you go down towards Camden and out that way towards Vineland, temperatures are going to be pretty much close to normal for winter. Not normal to last year, but normal to winter. And then right along the coast here and southern New Jersey and on, it could be normal to +1. But that doesn't mean you can't get the snow, but that just means that you'll have a little bit, the temperatures there, the cold fronts won't actually reach and have a big effect. The oceans tend to keep the air a little bit, a little bit warmer along this area here. So that's where that. Now for snow, okay, now it's a little bit more complicated just because of the terrain. We'll start off down by Cape May, towards Atlantic City. I'm guessing I'm going out at like 14 and a half inches. That center area, the next area up, which would be like Vineland, heading up towards was it Long Beach Island out that way? About 18 inches. If you go through Gloucester County, Camden County, near Philadelphia, then heading up towards Burlington and Ocean, about 24 inches. North of that, Mammoth, going up that way, actually heading towards the mountainous areas, 26. The Newark areas, Bergen County, Somerset County, that areas, they're about 32 inches. Now, it gets a little trickier. There's some higher terrain out in northwestern New Jersey. Those areas I got listed 45 and 48 inches, but the areas around that are a little bit lower back down to about 35 inches. So these numbers are a little higher this year than last year. And I definitely think that we have a possibility. And again, as I said about Pennsylvania, you get a nor'easter, this can change all the numbers. And it just matters how close to the shore if it actually changes the numbers down along the shoreline here. All right, so now let's move to Delaware. Here's Delaware. Basically, the northern part of Delaware, which would include like Wilmington, Newark area up that way. You're looking at normal temperatures up there. As you go further south through Kent County, through Dover, down that way, it'd be normal to maybe even +1. And that pretty much goes down into Sussex County, and then the southern parts of Sussex County, such as Rehoboth and down that way, it could be about +1 above. Because when the way this thing is going to set up, you're going to be over the zone where it's going to be cold to the north and warm to the south. So you're going to be in the middle of the mix right there, and that's why your temperatures are either normal to a plus. But that doesn't mean you can't get snow. And again, like I said about eastern PA and New Jersey, Delaware is susceptible to nor'easters if they get set up, and it would change their snow totals. And right now, this is what I think. Again, towards Wilmington, about 24 inches. As we go south, about 18 inches. We get into Kent County, around 14 inches. And then down in Sussex County, 10, 12 inches of down in there. And again, it can go up if you get a nor'easter. None of these numbers include the big nor'easters if they come through. So, again, have to be on the lookout for that. Okay, that's the winter forecast. We're going to go live tonight. Look at your Facebook page. It'll either be 7 to 7:30 or 7:30 to 8 o'clock if you want to come on and discuss these numbers and this information. And I'll be glad to talk to you about it then. And again, we don't have sponsors and things like that. If you would wish to support, there's your ways of supporting me by sending in a donation or whatever you can. Once again, I don't get anything during the summer. Last January or so, I asked for donations and I got a couple $100 out of that. But trust me, just the .com site alone runs me just cost to run it and everything, 300. That doesn't include my hours, doesn't include how much I pay for maps, doesn't include all my time that I put into it. But it gets a little expensive. So I reach out and ask people to make a donation if you can, and that's the way you would do it. Okay, again, I'll be online shortly, around between 7 and 8 o'clock tonight. Check the above comments, and you will see the time I'll be on for that particular Facebook page. All right, everybody, take care, be safe.